Hi, welcome to today's Fire Mountain Gems project. Today we're going to make a Druzy crystal choker. Now this is actually a wrap bracelet, but I'm going to show you how you can use the same technique to make a choker instead of a wrap bracelet. Starting with some of this faux suede cord. And I've got a pretty big chunk, bigger than I need for a choker. It's about 24 inches, but that gives me lots of leeway to make sure everything gets centered. Next thing I need is a piece of this quartz crystal Druzy agate. Oh, it's gorgeous. And, full of all sorts of good healing qualities to it and providing spiritual strength, and very bohemian and super popular right now. So this is super easy to do. I'm going to start with some wire. This is 22 gauge silver plated zebra wire. And I'll take about an 18-inch piece. It's probably more than I need, but that's all right because it's not a very expensive wire. That gives you lots of leeway to work with. Take that little piece of wire. I'm going to find the center of my piece of faux suede, and I'm going to start to make a wrap. Now I'm going to put the tail in toward the center so that I can wrap over the top of the tail. So I'll make, this doesn't have to be very precise. Remember, it's bohemian style. Bohemian means it's a little bit primitive, a little bit rough, a little bit raw. Don't worry about getting too accurate and perfect and wonderful. So I'm going to make a wrap, and I'm just going to keep wrapping around and over the top of this tail. Want to hide that tail so that it doesn't make any scritchies on your neck when you're wearing this beautiful choker. There we go. Just keep wrapping. Don't make it too perfect. We want rough. Just like the Druzy is a rough sort of natural look. Now that tail's too long. We want to cut it off so short enough that we can cover it up. So I'm taking off that little bit of a tail. There we go. Keep wrapping until we cover up that end. And then I think I'll go one more wrap. Then it's time to add the Druzy. So we're just going to put the Druzy onto the wire. Lay it over the top of my suede cord here. And start wrapping again on this side. I start with sort of a 90-degree bend and start to wrap. I want to have the same number of wraps on this side as on the other side. We don't want perfect, but we do want professional. So we want it to look the same on both sides. Even when the same is primitive, rough, and raw, we still want a similar look on both sides. Now I could crunch that cord down really narrow, but I don't want that. I want to be able to see width to the cord, so I'm not going to squish it too much. Let's see, we got about the same amount of wraps on both sides. I think I'm going to go one more there. And now it's probably the hardest part of the whole thing is to get this tail tucked underneath. Cut off the excess carefully. Then I'm going to use my chain nose pliers to tuck this tail underneath my wraps in any convenient way. Just get it under there so that that tail isn't sticking out to annoy the person who's wearing it. There we go. So that was the toughest part. Now we're just going to put the end on this. Now you can make this the size you need for the person you're making it for, or you can make your average length, which is about 16 inches. I'm going to make this for my niece, I think, so I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. That looks good. And I'll cut my suede right about there. Go. And we're going to put ribbon ends on these. This little guy, I'm going to use a little bit of E6000 first of all. This has got little teeth, little clampy teeth on there that can be used. But I like the little extra glue, a little more protection by putting in a nice good glob of E6000 into there. Oops. It's kind of a rubber cementy type of thing, so you can get strings and threads coming out of there. Okay. Pop in my cord. Now it's squishing some E6000 out into the hole here, if you can see that. That's okay. E6000 peels off easily, like peeling off a bit of rubber cement. So as it dries, we can fix that. I'm going to give that a squeeze with my chain nose pliers. Turn it over and give it a squeeze on the other side as well. There we go. And the same thing on the other side. A ribbon end. A little bit of E6000. Cord. And give it a nice squeeze with the chain nose pliers. Oh, a little bit crooked. I don't want it crooked. There we go. Now I usually let E6000 cure for about 24 hours before I would wear that. But we can go ahead and finish up by adding the clasp. Now I said I made this for my niece who has a very small neck, but she might want her daughter to wear it as well. So I will also add an extension chain. Sorry, I'm just taking out this little bit of E6000 out of those holes so I have a place to put my jump rings. Here we go. So pick up a jump ring, go through the hole, and add a clasp. I got quite a lot of E6000 there, but that's all right. We'll clean that up later. And close it. On the other side, I use a jump ring. And a piece of chain. And close it. Trim that chain off to the length I want. There you go. An adjustable Druzy necklace ready to bring your family member healing and strength with all this beautiful crystal in a bohemian style. Thanks for joining me. Happy beading.